few months ago, while looking at videos on the internet, I found an animation that caught my attention because of its simple, colorful style, straight out of the 70s. I immediately looked up who had made it, and that's how I came to Mickey Miles. How are you, Mickey?
I'm doing well, thanks for having me.
Mickey, you told me you live in Utah. Do you live in a big city, or in a quiet place?
Yeah, so I actually spent the first half of my life living around the Midwest area, and then moved to Utah when I turned 13. Right now I live in Pleasant Grove, which is in the Utah County area, and it's just this small suburban town between Provo and Salt Lake City.
If I am not mistaken, I think you started animating what you had been doing as an illustrator just last year. In that case, how old are you and how long have you been working on your illustrations? I've been looking at them, and I think there are some good potential album covers out there, like this one called Filled Up to Here with Hate, or this one, A Big Yellow Taxi Took Away My Old Man. I think you would have a lot of work as an album cover illustrator.
Yeah, so I'm 27. I've been working on my illustrations since I was a kid, really just drawing here and there throughout my life. I hadn't really focused on making a career out of it until pretty recently, like 2021 I think is when I started taking commissions and working with some local bands. But the style that I've been working in, I hadn't really begun to develop until I would say around that time too, and so it hasn't been too long.
I was looking at a series of illustrations on your Instagram called Meshes of the Afternoon. What was it exactly? As in that you published with the help of friends? Is still available?
So Meshes of the Afternoon was put out by Up Here Records, which is a local label. One of their bands, Toothpicks, had reached out to me and wanted me to design this comic book style zine that would follow the story of their latest single. It was just a really great way to experiment with visual storytelling and further develop my style. It's not currently available right now, but you can find all of the pages on my Instagram.
I found you through a video you made for the music website New Commute to commemorate the new year 2023. It reminded me of the style of Vince Collins in the 70s. Do you know him? Can you tell me what were the things you saw that most influenced your aesthetic?
Yeah, I love Vince Collins. I'm just so obsessed with all of his work, especially everything between like the 70s and the 80s. Like he did animation for early Sesame Street. He also did this super flashy psychedelic animation for the bicentennial of the United States. It's just especially exciting for me to see visuals like that achieved in a traditional type of method rather than having it just be digitally sequenced. I think Malice in Wonderland was actually the first of his animations I remember seeing. My friend had shared it with me back in high school, most likely with the intention of shocking me because it was a pretty twisted and fucked up kind of animation. But I was just totally blown away by it and fascinated by the simplicity of the design and like I said, like the way that he was able to achieve these kind of transformations in a very fluid way, but with a hand-drawn traditional method. I remember revisiting it over and over and breaking it down frame by frame, trying to get into the mind of that creator and see if I could learn how to achieve a similar effect in my own work.
Okay Mickey, let's take a little look at two of your latest animated videos. First, my favorite, a sweet and melancholic song with a very beautiful work on your part. Our Love Remains by Alex Izenberg. Can you tell us a bit about how you made this video? How much of this animation is done by hand?
Thanks, Salvador. I really appreciate that, and I definitely agree. I think that it's still one of my favorite pieces that I've done, and I will always hold a special place among my work. I'm really grateful for Alex reaching out to me and taking a chance on me out of thousands of other artists, even though I had such limited experience.
From the sea is my solitude, precious the same mountains.
So aside from warm-up sketches or any personal project I'm working on, all of my work is actually done just with my iPad. I like to think of my approach as using traditional methods with modern tools.
Colors wave through my hand as my heart loves.
So to give you a quick rundown of my process, all of my videos are done using only two apps, one being Procreate and then the other is called VN. It's a free video editing app, although I don't think it really matters what video editing software you use. You just need to have something that will allow you to adjust the frame rate. Each frame is composed in Procreate. I use multiple layers, kind of imagining them as cells, you know, and I'll use the method of onion skinning, which means you bring down the transparency of the previous frame and then use it as a backdrop to do the next frame and then kind of repeat that process. Each frame, when it is complete, I export it as a JPEG and then feed each of those into the editing app and just bring the frame rate to 0.10 frames per second is what I've been working in.
Love remains. Our love remains. Our love remains.
Then we have Night Crawling, a video for John Cale. I see a more sophisticated work on the backgrounds, the colors, the textures. How did you work here?
So first, before I get into the process of making this video, I just want to say that like this video is hands down like the craziest thing that I've ever worked on in my life, and I'm still really in disbelief that I was given this opportunity, especially at such an early point of my career. John Cale, the Velvet Underground, that whole music scene really just changed things for me when I had discovered them in high school, like most people. And it's just, you know, one thing that I don't think I'll ever be able to really fully comprehend. The actual process of making this video was almost identical to Alex Izenberg's Our Love Remains. It was all done in Procreate on my iPad as well. Although like you pointed out, the backgrounds in this one are a little more detailed and have like a hand-painted kind of rougher quality to them. One of my main points of inspiration for this animation was Ralph Bakshi in all of his films, especially Fritz the Cat. I thought his depiction of New York City in the 1970s was so perfect and would really match this project given the subject matter of the song.
When you're pouring me on, we play that game before. We play that game. I can't jump.
Well, Mickey, I don't have much time left to finish this show and send it out, so we have to end here. Thank you very much for being with us tonight, sharing your work. It has been a pleasure.
Thanks, Salvador. Take care.
Don't forget to check out all of Mickey's work on his Instagram, including the latest videos for robbing millions and pearl the oysters. Thanks for joining us. See you in the next show. Bye bye.